Today, we're going to talk about something pretty incredible. We're looking at a connection that stretches across more than 1,000 years, linking two of the most important prophets in history, Moses and Jesus. I mean, how could two people separated by that much time actually be part of the same mission? Well, let's jump in and see.
This line really just says it all, doesn't it? It frames their stories not as a coincidence, but as something deliberate, something divine, like a single thread that's being woven all the way through history.
So that's our big question for today. What is this divine thread? We're going to follow it all the way back to the beginning, and you're going to see how it looks like two separate stories is actually one continuous narrative.
All right, so to find the start of this thread, we've got to go back, way back. We have to start with Moses. Because he wasn't just a prophet, he was a founder. He was laying down a spiritual foundation that was built to last. Just picture the world Moses was born into. It was a really dark time. His people were enslaved, truth was pretty much silenced, and everyone was living in fear. It was exactly the kind of darkness that desperately needed a new light, a real divine intervention.
And what a journey he had. I mean, think about it. He goes from being a helpless baby found in a river to the man who stands up to the most powerful ruler in the world. He performed miracles, with God's permission, of course, and ultimately led his people out of bondage. Just incredible.
And the peak of his mission? Receiving the Torah. Now, this wasn't just some rule book. It was the core guidance, the divine roadmap that was meant to build a just and faithful society for his people, and for generations to come. Okay, so now let's hit fast forward. We're jumping ahead by centuries. That foundation Moses built is still there, but, it's been worn down by time. The world is calling out for a revival.
Because over all that time, the original pure teachings got a little lost. The spirit of the law was being ignored in favor of empty rituals, and corruption had started to seep in. That divine message really needed to be dusted off and brought back to life, and that's exactly the moment Jesus arrived.
And just like with Moses, the signs around Jesus were undeniable. I mean, speaking from the cradle as a baby, healing the blind, curing the sick, and even, by God's will, bringing the dead back to life. These were all clear, divine signs that he was who he said he was.
And this quote, this is the key. Jesus says it himself. He's not here to get rid of what came before him. No, he came to restore it, to complete it, to bring back the true heart of the foundation that Moses had built. He's building on it, not tearing it down.
So this is where it gets really interesting. Let's put them side by side. Because when you look at their missions together, that divine thread we've been talking about, it becomes crystal clear. You start to see the bigger picture. Just look at this breakdown. Moses established the law with the Torah. Jesus revived its spirit with the gospel. Moses was up against the physical oppression of a tyrant. Jesus was challenging the spiritual corruption from within people's hearts. But then you get to the last row, the most important part. Their core message was exactly the same: worship one God. And that's it. That was the truth at the center of both of their missions. It didn't matter what era it was, or who the people were, or what challenges they faced. The path was always the same: genuine faith and obedience to the one and only Creator. But wait, it gets even deeper. The connection is actually more direct than just a shared theme. It's an explicit continuation. You can think of it like a prophetic chain of command. And what's so fascinating is that this was all part of the plan. Moses himself actually predicted that another messenger would follow him. Then, Jesus confirms that very chain, speaking of the prophet who would come after him, completing the sequence. It's like a divine relay race, where each prophet hands the baton of truth to the next. I love this metaphor from our source material because it totally reframes how you see their lives. They weren't writing separate books. They were writing chapters in the exact same unfolding divine story for all of us. So, when we zoom out and look at the whole tapestry, you see something truly beautiful. It's one long, single journey of truth. On the surface, their worlds couldn't be more different, right? One was facing a powerful tyrant, the other was facing a crisis of faith. But the spiritual light they carried inside, that divine guidance in their hearts, it was one and the same.
And really, that's the bottom line. What looks like two separate stories is actually one. It's a single mission to guide humanity, a single message of worshiping one God, and a single, unchanging truth that just echoes through time.
So I'll leave you with this to think about. When we stop seeing Moses and Jesus as the founders of separate paths, and instead see them as links in the same sacred chain, it really challenges us. It pushes us to look past all the divisions and see one unified story of divine love and guidance. How does that shift your perspective? Something to chew on.